Hi, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Good News Conversations here on the Albuquerque Journal Podcast Network. I'm your host, Good News reporter Gino Gutierrez. Very pleased to be joined this week by Cliena Trujillo, who is the founder and president of the Jump Into School Bash. Cliena, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And Cliena, we're going to be discussing a very awesome event. This was the 4th annual Jump Into School Bash that you guys hosted a couple weekends ago. It's an event that I feel can't be described in a few words. It was a little bit of everything, but I was hoping you could give our listeners kind of an overview of what you guys were doing.
Awesome. Yeah. So it was on the 20th of July. It was, yes, our 4th annual. We were super excited. Our first year to be a nonprofit. We had so much going on for the kids. We had free haircuts. We had free manicures, and we had tons and tons of backpacks and school supplies that we were giving away. A lot of surprises. We had a foam party. We had Orbit showed up, the Lobo football players to interact with the kids. They were just so much fun for the kids. It was a good time for them.
Yeah, and it was a pretty amazing event. I remember driving up because it was at the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Posse complex that they have. Mm-hmm. It's like a big covered structure. Kind of looks like it would be for rodeos and things like that.
Yeah, it is for rodeos.
So you guys had this massive space, and I remember pulling up, and there was this line of cars, and almost as long as that line of cars are the lines of families that are waiting to get in. And I remember thinking, wow, this is a lot bigger than I had anticipated, because I was reading your guys' social media leading up. You know, you wanted to give out, you had close to 2,000 backpacks that you guys had received that were going to be given out to the kids. So I kind of felt there was going to be a large group of families there, but I wasn't really expecting everything you guys had to offer. I'm curious how everything came together and how much planning went into this.
Oh, I personally had been planning since last December. So there was a lot. And then as it gets closer, it gets more busier, more crazier with all the details. So there was a lot of planning. There was a lot of networking and meeting new partners, new sponsors, and just getting the word out there, because I always want my event to be successful. So right before the event, I'm scared whether there's not going to be enough people or maybe there's going to be too much people. So, you know, it was just, honestly, the community came together and really, really helped bring this whole thing to life.
Yeah, and the amazing part about the event was just the sheer number of vendors you guys had. There were tables spread all throughout the event. Mm-hmm. Vendors from CYFD to, I saw the Bank of Albuquerque was there. You had other, Albuquerque city organizations, state organizations, businesses. This was really a community-driven event from end to end of this covered structure that you guys were in.
Right. So my goal is to obviously, number one, provide for the kids who can't really afford it. But I have a lot of goals. My second goal is to bring the community together. No competition, all for the same goal. And so we had radio stations there. Yes, Albuquerque Community Safety actually sponsored a lot for us. They actually helped us out with 1,500 backpacks. So that was pretty amazing. And then we had drop-off locations. So a lot of small businesses came together and hosted a box. And then I put their information on our website, and they shared it to their followers to help bring school supplies to their locations. So Albuquerque Water Authority got us a lot of backpacks as well. Serve Pro helped us with a lot of backpacks. And then there's random people just coming and dropping off backpacks. So it was amazing. I'm honestly still in awe in all how everyone just came together.
Yeah, and it's extraordinary because it sounds like it was a very grassroots type of effort. It mm-hmm. was, you mentioned community helping community. These were businesses. These were just individuals that were donating. I'm interested, as the backpacks were starting to stack up, because I know you guys posted videos on your social media of volunteers, packing backpacks mm-hmm. with school supplies. Was there any point for you where you're like, wow, I honestly can't believe we had this big of a response from the community?
Oh, like I said, I still haven't even been able to take it in. And then it happened so fast, and then it's over. And so I'm still like, dealing with all the after stuff. And then I lost my voice for like a full week. I couldn't even talk. So, but I'm now that it's calming down and I'm getting like pictures are coming in. I'm like, cause when I'm there, I wasn't really able to take much pictures. And so I was reaching out to anyone. Can you please send me pictures? Cause I wasn't able to take much. And now that I'm seeing all the pictures coming in and these kids, like my whole heart and soul is like fulfilled that just how much they were. And then you see them all walking around with backpacks, which is like super cool. But yeah, I think it was the 17th, yes, that we filled the backpacks, and the stacks and stacks of backpacks, and the tables filled with school supplies, and everyone in a line just stacking them and filling up, and the piles are getting bigger and bigger. It was amazing. It was just, you see these big piles and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Did we really do this?
It was extraordinary. I mean, I lost count of how many kids I saw walking around. They had the big smiles on their faces. But it wasn't just something for the kids. Obviously, they got their school supplies. But the burden it had to lift off of the families that were there as well. Because this really doubled as not only an opportunity for these kids and these families to get school supplies, but also to enjoy themselves a little bit as well before the school year gets started.
Oh, and I really do want to make the parents feel important too. So we had Albuquerque florists also. They were doing little games for the kids to win. They won, either way, but so that they won a rose to give to their parents. So the moms felt special. The moms were walking around with roses, and then we had resources. So I love to have resources there for families, because you never know what somebody's going through. And there's a lot of resources out there that a lot of us don't even know about, or we don't even know how to find them, or what questions to even ask. So that's a huge part of the bash too, is trying to bring resources to families that need them.
Mm-hmm. And not only were there resources, not only was there school supplies, there was even a monster truck that was there.
Yes.
There were a bunch of safety vehicles that were outside as well for the kids to tour. I took a couple minutes to walk around. I mean, it was awesome to see the kids interacting with the police officers, interacting with first responders. You just saw their eyes get so wide when they saw the monster truck in the back. Where did the ideas for all of these come from? Are these community partners that are reaching out to you that are saying, hey, how can we be involved?
No, so it's in my whole heart to make this, like, really it's what I wanted growing up. I everything I do and how I put it together is something that I know would have made me and my sisters happy or excited or what we needed. So, there was the roller skate car. I don't know if you've seen that. The roller skate car was out there by the law enforcement vehicles. And I remember I was at a friend's birthday party that Saturday, and I was walking in my car, and I had been seeing that around town, and I was like, that is so cool. Like, I got to get that to my event. So as I'm walking to my car, I see him pull up behind us, and I just jumped out of my car, and I was like, stop. And he was like, who are you? So I opened his door and I was like, look, I have been seeing you all over town. I need you at my event. Let me just tell you a little bit about it, and I promise you'll love it. Yeah. And so he showed up that day. I didn't even know he was coming, but he looked into it and he showed up, and just making relationships, getting myself out there, speaking at certain things. Law enforcement's really important to me. So they've been a good support for us since the first one, since 2021. And it's really just getting out there, like, hey, the monster truck. Actually, they did a show a couple of years back at the arena, and I was talking to one of the posse guys, and I said, I think it would be really cool to have one of these trucks there. And a lot of them are from Texas, but there was one that was here in New Mexico that resides here. And so he showed me who it was. So when he was done doing his thing, I went to his trailer and I was like, hi, my name's Selena, introduced myself. I was like, I'm having this event. And he was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. So, and then he came this year. So it's really just getting myself out there. Like, I make it a point to meet these people, and just, I've learned to not be afraid of no. So, what's the worst they can say? I can't, I'm booked, or absolutely, I definitely can be there. So
that's amazing. And you touched on it a little bit in that answer, and we discussed it on the day of the event on the 20th. I know you were busy kind of making sure everything was in place, but you mentioned something that really stuck with me when I asked you, where does the passion for this event come from? And you mentioned to me that you didn't really have much as a kid when you were growing up. And you just said now that, you really mold the event around something that you and your sisters would have enjoyed. Can you tell me a little bit about what drove you to create this event?
Well, so we were in and out of foster homes our whole life. And I'm the oldest sibling, and I kind of got I feel like I got the worst of it because I always had to protect my sisters and when we would get put together. But there's a lot of times we'd be separated, and we'd lost a lot of stuff along the way, and it was really hard. So, and not a lot of people, we didn't go around telling everyone, oh, we're in foster homes. And so we just would switch schools so much, and we lost a lot of our belongings along the way. And it was just so hard. So since I was in fourth grade, like I literally had something in my heart to do something. Like, so what really happened in fourth grade at Adobe Acres Elementary School is, so we were awarded the state. So the state comes together and they give gifts for Christmas to kids in the system. One day there was a box showed up in my fourth grade class at Adobe Acres Elementary, and it had pajamas and socks and coloring books and stuff, but it had a teddy bear. And with all the chaos that me and my sisters were going through at that time in our life, that teddy bear made me so happy. I still have it to this day. I still have it. It made me, it was like it filled a piece of a void in my life. So to me, that was like, I don't know who gave it, who bought that bear for me, but I realized that I want to give this feeling to somebody else, to these kids, because there's a lot of kids in the system. There's a lot of kids going through stuff. So that sparked it right there when I was young. And then when I got to an age and in a position in my life, I was able to start trying to do something like that. I had no idea it was going to become like this. Mm-hmm. This is complete surprise how big and successful it's grown in such a little time. But it's been my whole life. Like I've always been a giver. I always look to help people. I see a need and I try to do something, and I wish I could save the world, honestly. So yeah, that's really, it was something kind done to me, and I want to do something kind to somebody else. I always try to tell people, you never understand what a kind word or a gesture will do to somebody's life. You have no idea. Like, just be nice, just be kind, just try it. Like, I don't go anywhere without giving someone a compliment or just something, like trying to help, or can I get that for you? It's just, it makes people happy. Like, you have no idea what they may be going through at home.
Exactly. And this event not only impacts families, the children, but I would imagine has such a great impact on your community partners as well. It really seems like it has a gigantic ripple effect. But I kind of want to go back to the start, when you first started this event. How did that first event go, and how has it grown in the 4 years that you guys have been doing this?
So it literally was an idea. I wanted to help an organization that was kind of similar to what I had been in. I was in All Faiths a couple of times in a group home when I was growing up, and so I knew it's in my mind. It's embedded in my mind how lonely and scary it was for me being there. So I know how scary it could be for other kids. So I looked into an organization that I wanted to help, because I wasn't a nonprofit, but I wanted to raise money for kids like that. Mm-hmm. So I found an organization, and we partnered that year. And then they were like, yeah, we would love for you to do this for us. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to put a little thing together. I knew a DJ, so I asked him if he could do music. I was selling my activewear clothing line out of my friend's fitness studio. So she had access to the parking lot, and I asked her, well, can we use your parking lot? Because I don't, it's a big space out there. Mm-hmm. So then I reached out to some of the law enforcement, just friends, social media, and we rented some tents, and we got some bikers to get some school supplies. And I just reached out to everyone and like, would you like to be involved in this thing? And then we started promoting it, and it was amazing. It was on a 1/4-acre parking lot on 4th and Manal. And we had jumpers, we had a dunk tank, we had music, we had the SWAT truck, we had some cool bikers, face painting. We were giving all the little girls crowns, and about 300 people showed up to that first event. And the posse directors heard about it, and they showed up. And towards the end, they asked if I would be interested in doing something like that at their property. And I honestly wasn't planning on this was just like a one-time thing. COVID was just ending. Kids are coming out. You heard all the crazy things kids are going through, being stuck at home, abuse, and, a lot of bad, scary stuff. So wanted to get our kids out. So I was like, okay, maybe let's see. So I went to their property. I mean, from where we were to that, I was like, I told my husband, there's no way, like, this is huge. But he's like, let's just try it. Even if we get the same amount or half of this, let's just try it. I was like, okay. So I did the same thing. I promoted it. I came up with the logo. I put I created the name and everything, and we did it again in that second year, but it was the first year at the arena. We bring in like 2,000 people. And I couldn't believe it. And so, of course, they're like, you have to do this again. Like, there's no way you cannot not do this again. So 2023, we tried it again. And we bring in like 3,000 people. And these are numbers I've asked from everybody. Like, what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah.
So 3,000 people showed up the second year at the arena, the third year doing the event. And again, like, oh my God, we're like, what did we start? We can't stop now. We couldn't stop now. There was no way. But the need, like, you saw the need grow and grow. And the more it got out there and the more people supported us and put us on the radio and the news, you could just tell that it was going to get bigger and bigger because the need and the people were hearing it. And then this year, you saw for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw for yourself. Yeah, I didn't get to see, like, because I didn't leave until the next day, but I heard the traffic was all the way down 2nd Street just trying to get in. And I did get a chance to see the lines because I was out there trying to help for a little bit. But, man, it just goes to show that people need this and their kids need this. So I'm really happy that I've been able to just do this.
Yeah, and I can tell there's a little bit of an astonishment there that it has grown so quickly in such a short amount of time. And you kind of answered this a little bit, but could you have ever imagined you would be impacting so many people so quickly? Not
in a million years, no. I believe that there's a purpose for me, and I've always wanted to empower women, because I was a teenage mom and I know how hard it was, and just everything I went through, seeing my mom, I have a lot of life experience. So I've always wanted to try to help people, like you can become something better no matter what you go through. It's really up to us. But I never thought in a million years that it would be, of course, I wanted to help kids too, but I didn't know that that was gonna be my true purpose. So everything steers me in that direction. Everything that I do, it's for the kids. And now it's like, it makes sense because my true passion now is to help the kids, to help them and be some kind of positive influence or motivation or inspiration, so that they can, and no matter what they're going through, they know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
And Selena, I know you guys had a lot of volunteers there. You had a lot of sponsorships as well. Can you tell me a little bit about those partnerships?
So, yes, we did have a lot of volunteers that came to help. Stuffing the backpacks was probably one of the hardest because there was so many. So we had a lot of people just show up. But for the actual event, we had a lot of amazing sponsors that really helped bring everything to light. A few of them was, of course, the Albuquerque Journal. You guys came and you guys put us out there and we're there to see it, which thank you very much for that. Advanced Compressor Systems, who's a real... they help a lot with the back end. Cumulus Radio, American General Media, Misfit Trucks was the ones that bring the monster truck and the stage for us. Also, Albuquerque Community Safety sponsored 1,500 backpacks, and Presbyterian Turquoise Care, they were a first-time sponsor this year. So that was pretty amazing. And then the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Posse, of course, they always provide the property for us along with the house. And they take charge of the parking. That parking is crazy. You've seen it.
Yeah.
So they go out there and they hustle that. And Head to Toe Studios, they've been with us for 4 years doing the nails and the haircuts. And we have other barbers that come as well, but the majority of staff come from Head to Toe Studio. And then PLC Enterprises, Patricia Chavez, she's been a huge part of the Jump Into School Bash from the beginnings. She just has shown a big support system to us, so we're grateful for her. And the Hispano Chamber and the Women in Business. The Women in Business came and they did the backpack distribution. That's the hardest part of the whole entire event is doing the backpacks. It doesn't seem like it, but it's a lot. And so I really praise them for stepping up and coming in and really taking charge of that and making it a huge success. And
Selena, last question for you. I know it might be hard to, kind of quantify this a little bit, but what has been the highlight of this experience so far, running the Jump Into School Bash? What's been the most rewarding part for you?
Honestly, the fact that that I'm even capable. Before this, I was good at doing my kids' birthday parties. So this was just the fact that it's been in me forever, and the fact that I could put so much smiles on kids that I probably won't see again, but I'm seeing through the pictures, and like to know that what I've been through and what is in my heart, that I've just been able to do that. It's just to make these kids happy, that who knows what they're taking home from here. And all I could do is hope to God that they're taking something home and that they're utilizing what they've endured at the event, what they've seen, and they're going to use it to make better choices in their future, or that we help them.
That's fantastic. So probably never too early to start planning for 2025, I would imagine.
Oh, God, no.
So, Selena, thank you so much for spending some time with me and discussing the event. It was, awe-inspiring would probably be the best way to describe it, seeing it in person. And congratulations on another successful year.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You can find this episode and all of our podcasts on the Albuquerque Journal website, albuquerquejournal.com, as well as YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, and SoundCloud. If you enjoy our podcast, please like and subscribe and consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Albuquerque Journal to help us continue to bring you content like this. See the show notes for a discount code on a digital subscription, or go to www.albuquerquejournal.com/subscribe/ABQpods/ and enter the promo code ABQpods. This gets you a digital subscription to the newspaper for $3 per week, normally charged monthly at $12. That's a savings of $9. Thank you for joining us, and read, hear, and watch.